our global economy. It's a vast, intricate machine, a marvel of modern civilization, a complex web of interconnected systems, each one relying on the other to function smoothly, from the bustling stock exchanges in New York and London to the emerging markets in Asia and Africa. Every piece plays a crucial role, trillions of dollars changing hands every day. It's a delicate dance, a ballet of numbers and decisions where even the smallest misstep can have far-reaching consequences. One wrong step, and the whole thing could collapse. Just like a house of cards, the stability of our financial systems is precarious. A single event can trigger a cascade of failures, and nothing throws things into chaos quite like war. History has shown us time and again how conflicts can disrupt economies, leading to uncertainty and panic, but not just any war, a nuclear war. Imagine this. The missiles fly, and in an instant, the world as we know it changes forever. Cities vanish in blinding flashes. The infrastructure that supports our daily lives is obliterated in moments. The lucky ones die instantly. They are spared the horrors that follow. The rest face a slow, agonizing death. Radiation sickness, starvation, and the collapse of medical systems turn survival into a nightmare. This is not science fiction. This is a very real possibility, one that experts have warned us about for decades. This is the reality we face. The threat of nuclear conflict looms over us, a dark shadow that we cannot ignore. The consequences of such a conflict would be unlike anything humanity has ever seen. Entire cities reduced to rubble, millions of lives lost, and the very fabric of society torn apart. The global economy, built on trust and interconnectedness, would crumble. Trade would halt, markets would crash, the flow of goods and services that we take for granted would cease. We would be thrust into a new dark age, a time of scarcity, fear, and uncertainty, the progress of centuries undone in an instant. We've seen glimpses of this economic devastation before. World War I, World War II. These were not just conflicts of nations, but cataclysms that reshaped the very fabric of our world. The scars they left behind are still visible today, etched into the landscapes and the memories of those who lived through them. Global conflicts that reshaped the geopolitical landscape. Borders were redrawn, empires crumbled, and new powers emerged. The decisions made in war rooms and on battlefields had far-reaching consequences, altering the course of history in the ways that are still felt today. Entire nations were mobilized for war. Men and women from all walks of life were called to serve, leaving behind their homes and families. The sense of duty and sacrifice was palpable, as everyone contributed to the war effort in whatever way they could. Factories that once produced cars now churned out tanks. Farmers became soldiers. The entire industrial landscape was transformed to meet the demands of war, with production lines working around the clock to supply the front lines. Resources were diverted to the war effort. Food, fuel, and raw materials were rationed, with every available resource being funneled towards the war machine. The civilian population faced shortages and hardships, but they endured, driven by a sense of shared purpose. These wars led to economic booms, yes. The demand for military supplies and the mobilization of the workforce spurred industrial growth and technological innovation. But these booms were temporary, sustained by the relentless pace of war. But they were artificial booms built on a foundation of debt and destruction. Governments borrowed heavily to finance the war, leaving future generations to bear the burden. The physical and economic toll of the conflict was immense, with entire cities reduced to rubble. The aftermath was even worse. The end of the war did not bring immediate relief. Instead, it revealed the true extent of the devastation. Infrastructure was destroyed, millions were displaced, and the task of rebuilding seemed insurmountable. Countries were left in ruins, economies were shattered, the human cost was staggering, with countless lives lost and communities torn apart. The road to recovery was long and arduous, requiring immense effort and international cooperation. The world was plunged into recession. The economic impact of the wars was felt globally, with widespread unemployment and financial instability. The lessons learned from these conflicts continue to shape our approach to international relations and economic policy today. But nuclear war, that's a different beast altogether. The immediate impact would be catastrophic. Major cities, financial centers, all gone in an instant, millions vaporized. The lucky ones, remember? The global supply chain, the intricate network that connects us all, would be severed. Then comes the radiation, spreading silently, invisibly, poisoning the land, water and air. Crops would fail, livestock would die. Famine would become the new normal. Section 4, a world in ruins. And if that wasn't enough, we have to consider nuclear winter. The dust and smoke from the explosions would block out the sun, temperatures would plummet, darkness would engulf the planet. Imagine a world without sunlight, without warmth, without food, a world where the global economy is the least of our worries. Because survival itself would be in question. This is the nightmare scenario we must avoid. Section 5. Seeds of hope in the ashes. So, can the global economy survive a nuclear war? This question looms large over our collective consciousness as we grapple with the potential aftermath of such a catastrophic event. The devastation would be unprecedented, affecting every corner of the globe. The honest answer is, we don't know. Economists and experts can only speculate, drawing on historical precedents and theoretical models. The interconnected nature of our world economy means that the ripple effects would be felt far and wide, disrupting trade, finance, and daily life. The scale of the destruction is simply unimaginable. Entire cities reduced to rubble, infrastructure obliterated, and countless lives lost. The immediate aftermath would be chaos, with survivors struggling to find food, water, and shelter. But amidst the ashes, there may be embers of hope. Renewable energy sources, such as wind and solar power, could play a crucial role in rebuilding. These technologies, less reliant on global supply chains, offer a sustainable path forward. Local communities, forced to become self-sufficient, could provide a lifeline. Community gardens and local farming projects would become essential, ensuring that people have access to fresh, nutritious food. These self-sufficient communities might offer a model for a post-apocalyptic world. They would demonstrate the power of resilience and adaptability, showing how people can come together to overcome even the most daunting challenges. International cooperation, though severely tested, could foster a spirit of rebuilding and renewal. By working together, nations can share resources, knowledge, and support, paving the way for a brighter, more sustainable future. Section 6. Charting a path to survival. Prevention is our best strategy. Diplomacy, not destruction. Dialogue, not detonations. We need to invest in diplomacy, conflict resolution, and arms control. We need to strengthen international institutions and uphold the rule of law. We must shift our focus from unsustainable practices to sustainable development. Renewable energy, resource conservation, and environmental protection are not just buzzwords. They are essential for our survival. Section 7. Our collective responsibility. The future of our planet, our civilization, rests on a knife's edge. The choices we make today will determine our fate. Let us choose wisely. Let us choose peace. Let us choose a future where the term nuclear war is relegated to the history books. The power is in our hands. The responsibility rests on our shoulders. Let us not fail future generations.